What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over ranking our top quarterbacks in a college football 25 ultimate team from S tier all the way down through F tier. Now, we've got every quarterback that is a 94 overall or higher, and since they load in this kind of weird way, I'm just going to try to mix them up a little bit. So, we have some guys, obviously up high that are lower overall, some guys that are lower that are high overall, and just mixing these cards up so, it's not just all of the best cards right away, not the worst cards right away, and just so we get a good mix up here. Now, I do want to say, right now at this stage of college football ultimate team, there are so many good quarterbacks. So many. And so, we'll probably have quite a bit of S tier type of cards, genuinely. Obviously, ability-wise, we're starting to see some of the quarterbacks, get those gold abilities, those types of things. But again, at the quarterback position, I feel like abilities aren't super important. Yes, workhorse is an important ability. Some people think that is. Obviously, depends on what passing setting you're using. Extender, I don't think is that great of an ability. Magician's a solid ability, but it's not like gold takeoff for wide receivers, that type of overpowered. Now, we're going to start off with DJ Legway, and as we do dive into DJ, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Appreciate the support. 96 speed, 97 acceleration, good carrying, great throw power, good throw accuracy, throws a tight spiral. The only negative about Legway is if you go here to player traits, the sense pressure is on paranoid. That's the only flaw on DJ Legway. Everything else about this card is nearly perfect. 96 speed, 97 acceleration, accuracy stats, incredible. If you don't have him in S tier, I don't know what to tell you. He is an absolutely perfect quarterback for you guys. S tier, could see his price drop with the new stories of the week dropped this week, but we'll have to see. Cam Newton, I still like Cam Newton. I still think if you're looking for a running quarterback on this game, it's really tough to beat what Cam Newton does. 94 speed, again, good carrying. He actually has decent trucking. He does everything really well. The problem with Cam Newton is, as far as abilities, he's just way behind the 8 ball. Doesn't get any of the, new abilities, is paranoid. Still throws a tight spiral, still has, great speed. Honestly, I still think A tier probably is right for Cam Newton, which is crazy after all this time. But I think that's where he belongs. Nussmeier, I don't love him. And I know, ability-wise, he's a newer card, gets way better abilities than a guy, let's say, like Cam Newton. But his throw accuracy isn't great. His carrying's a 65. His speed acceleration is decently low. I don't know. And like I said, ability-wise, sure, he's fine. And a lot of people, some people comment on my videos, Ty, you don't even talk about mobile resistance on Platinum. Because I don't use it. I would never use that thing. But you guys can see Dot on Silver. Probably gets Extender Gold, Magician Gold, Workhorse Silver. He's fine ability-wise. I don't know. Is he worth exchanging 4,000 trophies for? Absolutely not. I'm throwing him at that C tier. Hines Ward up next. And I think Hines Ward is just a step below Legway. And I think that's a fair, assessment of the card. And we'll talk about him. But I think when I used Hines Ward and did a game plan, I'd have to remember, but I'm pretty sure he fumbled. And he's going to have a problem with fumbling because his carrying's low. He doesn't throw his tight spiral. His accuracy stat is really low. Honestly, Hines Ward or, Cam Newton, I think it's decently close. Useless. I don't think quite useless. But I don't think he's a top quarterback in the game. Maybe even B tier. We'll have to see for Hines Ward. Right now, I'll go A tier, but he might go B tier. Ryan Leaf is a guy that I think is better than Hines Ward and Cam Newton. Both. I really do. And I think for Ryan Leaf, it's the bigger picture, right? The 98 throw power is incredible. The throw accuracy is incredible. Doesn't throw a tight spiral, which sure you guys can say that, oh, well, he's not this all great. But he gets the perfect abilities, can get workhorse. Again, good speed acceleration, good carrying, so he's not going to fumble. I'm telling you, yeah, he doesn't throw a tight spiral, but with all the abilities he gets for under 100,000 coins, sign me up for Ryan Leaf. He is an A-tier quarterback. Not as good as Legway, for sure. I'm not going to sit here and try to, gas him that much, but he is really solid. Morton up next, S-tier. One of my favorite quarterbacks in the game right now. And if you're running Morton, you've got a really, really solid quarterback. There's no negatives I can really say about him. From the 94 speed to great accuracy stats, 6'2", throws a tight spiral. Is he expensive? Yeah. 400,000 coins obviously is expensive for a quarterback at this stage. But this is true. This guy is insane. He is. Now, obviously, as time has went on, we've seen better and better quarterbacks. But like Morton compared to Drew Aller, I think it's close. I think it's really close. A lot of it is that preference base, but if he's your quarterback, you've got a really good one. Plus, I think you can change the scheme on him because he is an LTD, get that × 2 boost, and you've got a really good quarterback in Morton. Ethan Vasco up next. I don't know, man. Like, Vasco's a newer quarterback. Not like super new, but new-ish quarterback. I don't know. I don't really see it with the card. He does throw a tight spiral, but has a 60 throw accuracy, not high speed, not high acceleration. Carrying's only a 77. I'm throwing him at D tier. I just don't see it with Vasco. I think there are way better quarterbacks in the game. Braylon Braxton up next. And here's the thing, and I've said this before. You've got all of these super good quarterbacks on the game right now. And Braxton's another one. Honestly, I think Braxton is one of the more underrated ones as well. 95 speed, 96 acceleration, 95 throw accuracy, 93 carrying, throws a tight spiral. Like, I like looking at these comments because how is he not, gassed up more? Genuinely, why are people selling for $230? I want to see the reply. I don't understand. People say because there's so many, out there. But genuinely, for your best bang for your buck, if you're looking for the elite level quarterbacks, I think it's Braylon Braxton over anybody else. Genuinely. If I were to start a team right now, this would be the quarterback I picked up would be Braylon Braxton. Because he's an LTD. You're always going to eventually be able to sell him for $175. Right now, he's $285. Give me all a Braylon Braxton stock. Patty Mahomes, used him once. I think he is S tier. Honestly, though, I think Mahomes at this stage is the lower end of S tier. Now, I know he gets that gold dot, gets good abilities. 93 speed, accuracy stats are elite. But I just think that this card is overpriced because he's Patrick Mahomes. Genuinely. Like, he is S tier for sure. But I think he's overpriced because his name is Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to move some of these guys down. Max Brosmer, maybe the worst quarterback on this list. If you look at Brosmer, his speed is low. He just doesn't do anything really well. Throwing this okay, but this card is literally horrible. Like, this card is got to be the worst card on this list, F tier. Davis Warren, he's fine. Is C tier the right spot, though, for Davis Warren? Honestly, I think it is. And honestly, if I'm asking him or Nussmeier, I'm probably taking Nussmeier over Davis Warren. I absolutely am. I'm going to put Nussmeier at B tier, Davis Warren at that C tier. He's not worthless. I do think he's better than Vasco, but Davis Warren is obviously not ideal. Troy Smith at this stage isn't great. I actually was thinking like a month or two ago about getting Troy Smith because he does fit that spread scheme, which I was running for a while. But it's just like the 40 throw accuracy. He does throw a tight spiral, which helps. But that 40 throw accuracy stinks. At this stage, he's not overly fast. Maybe C tier, right? Is he still better than Vasco? Probably, but he's not great. Daniel Jones is good. Daniel Jones deserves to be in that A tier. Not quite the elites of the elites, but Daniel Jones is solid. 94 speed, good carrying, accuracy stats solid. The only problem with Daniel Jones is he doesn't throw a tight spiral. Everything else is really good. Like, everything else is really good. Somebody said, how is he better than Jaden Daniels? He is better than Jaden Daniels, side by side. And this is when Jaden Daniels wasn't out. But again, Daniel Jones is a really good card. He's on the borderline, like top of A tier. Honestly, I'm going to rank these cards. He's at the top of A tier. Better than Ryan Leaf? Close, for sure. Johnny Manziel, C tier. Like, again, for his time was really good. Problem is that time is no longer now. Again, another card that fit my spread scheme. So when I was trying to build that, I thought about picking up Johnny Football. But again, the 40 throw accuracy is just crazy. This stage, way better cards out. Will Howard. I will never see what people saw in Will Howard. Like, when Will Howard came out and I didn't put him on my top 10 quarterbacks, everybody hated on me. And I know Will Howard throws the football well. I get it. But he's got 89 speed with 82 carrying. Look, guys, I get it. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know, man. I just, and I know throwing stats are good. I get that. But you can get guys with this good at throwing stats with 95 speed, with better carrying. And so, yeah, Will Howard's going to throw the football pretty well, but he's an LTD for 194, and that's what he should be going for. He is an A-tier quarterback, but I mean, him or Ryan Leaf for Daniel Jones. Give me Ryan Leaf for Daniel Jones, genuinely, for the card. Andrew Luck, another card I really don't like. And you guys can't even hate me because I'm like the biggest Andrew Luck fan in the world. I haven't honestly been into the NFL since Andrew Luck. Genuinely. 6'4", 92 speed, 91 acceleration. Throwing stats are okay. Throw accuracy is extremely low. Doesn't throw a tight spiral. I mean, I don't see it with Andrew Luck. I don't. I'm going to go B tier. And I know people aren't going to like me for it, but I do not see what people see with Andrew Luck. I don't. And again, I like Andrew Luck in real life, but that card is not great. B tier. Marcus Mariota up next. Is he S tier? Is he A tier? And I think this is going to be our first really tough one that's really on that, actually, I lied. I don't think it's that close because he has a great throw accuracy, throws a tight spiral, 93 speed, 90 acceleration. I just wish he was faster. That's my real only complaint about Mariota. The card is really, really solid, though, and I do think he's at the lower edge of that S tier. One nice part about Mariota is if you are, he's not worth his price, I'll say that, but if you are running that Oregon team cam, save you some coins by not having to change that for Mariota. Tua Tagovailoa, I don't know, man. It's just lefty quarterbacks, right? It's a struggle for lefty quarterbacks, and so for Tua, 91 speed, 90 acceleration, accuracy stats not great. Does throw a tight spiral, but I don't know, man. I just don't know for Tua. Somebody commented head first gold. Like, come on, guys. We've got to be better. I'm going to go C tier for Tua. Arch Manning. The question I got is, do y'all believe the hype of Arch Manning? I don't. And I'll hold on to the fact that I think speed for the quarterback is important. Is it the most important? We can argue that all day. Throwing stats are solid outside of that throw accuracy. 85 carrying's okay. I just don't know. And this is what I'm saying, right? This comment is what I'm saying. I looked it up. Drew Aller ran like a 4.9 40. I think Arch ran like a 4.6, right? Drew Aller, which we'll get to eventually, has 95 speed. Arch Manning has 91 speed. It doesn't make any sense that Arch Manning has 91 speed. It doesn't make any sense. And so I do not believe the hype of Arch Manning. I'm throwing him at A tier. He is maybe the worst value quarterback. No, I'm not even going to say worst. He is the worst value quarterback on this list. He is. A tier for Arch Manning. I don't believe the hype. Brady Cook up next. And here's the thing for me, right? If you're asking me Brady Cook or Arch Manning, for me personally, I think Brady Cook is just as good. I do. Like, throwing stats are just as good. Yes, Arch doesn't have that paranoid trait, but Brady Cook's throw accuracy is good. Brady Cook's just as good as Arch Manning. A tier for both cards. If you're going to like Arch Manning, you're going to like Brady Cook. It's genuinely that true, that simple, that easy to understand. So I'm sorry for anybody out there that loves Arch Manning, that's having fun with him. That's fine. But I'm making this to help people out, and I just don't see it with Arch Manning. I really don't. Next up, we see Mensa. I love Mensa on this game. I love him, man, because you cannot tell me what Mensa cannot do on the field. You can't. Let's look at it. 94 speed, 93 acceleration, throwing stats elite, good carrying, throws a tight spiral, doesn't have the paranoid trait. Budget beast easily. I'm telling you right now, this is your best value quarterback in the game, right? When I did my best value at each and every position, Mensa was the best value quarterback. Is he going to go in S tier? I don't know. I think it's close. I'm going to throw him in S tier. I think he does enough. I'm sorry. I think he does enough. Jaden Daniels, man. I don't know. Like, I've tried to use Jaden Daniels. I tried. And he does throw a tight spiral. But it's like his throwing stats are not great. He threw a ton of inaccurates for me because of that 11 throw accuracy. He has paranoid. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Jaden Daniels is B tier. I see A tier. I'm going to go B tier. The throw accuracy is too low. Paranoid trait. I'm going to go B tier with Jaden Daniels. Kyler Murray up next. I never really bought into the Kyler Murray hype when everybody was gassing him, but the card's solid. 93 speed, throwing stats are okay. Doesn't throw a tight spiral. Throw accuracy to 40 is kind of troll. I think he is slightly better than Jaden Daniels. I don't think he's great. Slightly better than Jaden Daniels, though. Tom Brady stinks. And the reason Tom Brady stinks is, sure, some of his throwing stats are okay, but let me ask you this. Like, with Tom Brady, 86 speed is actually crazy, but 70 carrying, he's going to fumble. His throw accuracy is low. He doesn't throw a tight spiral. This card doesn't give you guys really anything. I'm going to go D tier because I do think he's better than Max Brosmer. But D tier for Tom Brady as high as I can go. Jackson Dart up next. At this stage, I think is B tier the right tier? I mean, at this stage, it's like Jackson Dart when he came out was fine. But time has came, time has went. Paranoid trait, does throw a tight spiral, but he's not bad. Right in there with Jaden Daniels, though, at B tier. I think B tier is where I've got to go with him. If Nussmeier's going to be B tier, then so is Jackson Dart. I don't mind him. It's where he's got to go. Jordan McLeod up next, A tier. I think McLeod is really, really solid, especially, for his price. I really do. The card is 66,000 coins. Good speed, good carrying, throws the ball well. I think McLeod is easily just as good as Arch Manning. And you guys can call me crazy, right? Say what you want, but tell me how I'm wrong. Like, genuinely. Especially if you run that veer and shoot chemistry, which you're probably not, because nobody really runs that. But if you are running that, then give me Jordan McLeod easily over him. I love Jordan McLeod. If you're running him at your quarterback, you've got a really solid quarterback for your squad. Michael Vick, I'm going to throw him a B tier. He's just a lefty quarterback. Lefty quarterbacks are weird, man. They're weird. He does have good speed. If you don't mind lefty quarterbacks, if you know how to use them, he's fine. B tier for Michael Vick is where I'm going, though. Josh Allen up next. Josh Allen's an interesting one. He's interesting because I think objectively he's got to be S tier. Because he, you know, and I'm not to Drew Aller yet, because if you look at the card, he is better than a guy like Arch Manning slightly because of the speed and stuff. 94 speed, not going to fumble. Throw power is good. I think Josh Allen does deserve that S tier, but he's at the lower end of S tier. I don't think he's as good as, you know, Braxton Morton or Legway at all. Quinn Ewers up next. I mean, B tier or A tier for Ewers is really the only question. Obviously, when he came out, was really good for his time. This stage, gonna throw the ball still incredibly well. I think he's nearly as good as Will Howard, but not quite as good as Will Howard. And maybe I'm ranking him at B tier because he's just too outdated, right? And there's just other cards that can do what he can do. Not worth his price, but he's fine. Like, if you like Quinn Ewers, he's fine. B tier. Cam Ward up next is incredible. Like, Cam Ward is always going to be good. And I will say 2K, or EA, sorry if I say 2K, EA did their thing with the stars of the season. Look at these throwing stats. Yes, the throw accuracy you might wish was a little bit higher, but he throws a tight spiral. His release is incredible. 92 speed, 90 acceleration isn't great, but I think Cam Ward's better than Arch Manning. I definitely think so. I think his throwing stats are better. I think his release is better. Give me Cam Ward. Lower end of S tier, but he is S tier. Shadur Sanders, A tier. I like Shadur Sanders. I think he's a really solid quarterback on this game, but he is an A tier level quarterback. 92 speed's good. Accuracy stats are okay. Throw accuracy, wish was a little bit higher. Throws a tight spiral. He's good. And people are saying better than Will Howard. I agree he's better than Will Howard, but he is A tier at the end of the day. Drew Aller up next, one of your better quarterbacks in the entire game. Honestly, I think all of these stories of the week's cards are better than the other cards because, again, you can change their chemistries to fit yours, which is kind of an underrated thing if you do run that scheme team. That's so important. Drew Aller's got 95 speed, 93 acceleration. Throwing the ball is incredible. Drew Aller still is so good. Like, I'm telling you right now, he is still just absolutely ridiculous on this game. And he came out a while ago. He was my quarterback for a while. Josh Hoover up next. Look, I don't know what EA is doing with these fraternities cards because I feel like every time they drop them, I'm just like, ew. 85 speed, accuracy stats, whatever. Throws a tight spiral. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. For Josh Hoover, I don't know where I at. D tier is probably right. Ryan Leaf's 94 overall. I think is still C tier. You know, he's not perfect, obviously. But I still think the card's fine. 90 speed, accuracy, stats elite, doesn't throw a tight spiral, but everything else is still good. Like, everything else about this card is still good. I kind of want to throw him at that B tier. I'm going to, because everything about 94 Ryan Leaf is still really, really, really good. Dylan Raiola up next, easy A tier. You could, honestly, Dylan Raiola might be S tier. Like, honestly, he might be S tier. He is. I wish the throw accuracy was a little bit higher, but he is S tier. He's better than Arch Manning. Great speed, throws the ball well, throws a tight spiral. He's S tier. Dylan Raiola is. He's better than Arch Manning side by side. John Mateer up next, and this is the crazy part because John Mateer is incredibly good as well for his 94 overall. And when you mention budget quarterbacks, John Mateer might be the best. You know, yes, I did gas, you know, the other value-wise, I did gas Mensa a lot. But John Mateer is up there as well. 92 speed, good accuracy, good throwing the football. Gosh, he's got to be up there as well. And so it's tough because I do think Mateer is better than Arch Manning too. I'm going to throw him at the lower end of S tier. I think he's better than Shadur Sanders. Devon Williams Jr., this is a tough one. Because ability-wise, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the game. I'm just not necessarily sold on his stats. I mean, he's still S tier. But it's just the 12 throw accuracy with paranoid trait is what gets me. You know? Like, that's what gets me. He does obviously, you know, ability-wise is good. I don't know, man. I don't know for Devon Williams Jr. I think I've got to go S tier. But if he throws the ball inaccurate for you, don't be surprised. Paranoid trait, 11 or 12 throw accuracy, not great, but he is 95 speed. Again, ability-wise, great. I think I got to go S tier. Lamar Jackson up next. Weird card for Lamar Jackson. He is S tier, but it's just like, again, we've got so many great quarterbacks in this game. And Lamar Jackson is obviously incredibly good, but I don't know, man. I just feel like we've got so many good quarterbacks in the game. Lamar's probably, you know, right in here, right after Drew Aller maybe. He's really good. But it's just, we got so many good quarterbacks in the game. And remember, my S tier is pretty much ranked from good to bad. Mine's probably a little better, somewhere in there. But again, Lamar Jackson with that speed is incredibly good. Baker Mayfield. When Baker came out, I actually liked the card. I think he does play better than his stats suggest. Like, if you look at Baker Mayfield's stats, they're not good. But when I did a gameplay of Baker, and if you don't believe me, go and watch it, he was actually good. So I'm not going to keep him, he is still D tier. But I honestly, he was better than I expected. Sam Levitt, one of your better value quarterbacks in the game. And so I don't like the fact that I've got Sam Levitt at B tier. But I think that's where I'm going to have to keep him. I think A tier is where he belongs, though. But is he better than Quinn Ewers or Ryan Leaf? I think B tier is where I got to keep him. But I do like Sam Levitt. I think you could easily throw him into that A tier. Brandon Locke stinks. D tier at this stage. I just, times went on in the card is just not improved. So I didn't love the card when he came out. Still don't love him. 85 speed. Doesn't throw the football that well. D tier. Denard Robinson, wherever Troy Smith is, these two will always be together. Yes, they're slightly different cards, but I think, since they came out about the same time, you're just going to have to rank them, with each other. Denard, 92 speed, carrying's good. Just throwing the ball is obviously not ideal. General Booty last, but certainly not least. I'm going to go B tier with General Booty. Times went on. General Booty is still really solid. It's just he doesn't get the newer abilities. There are better quarterbacks in the game. He's still solid. If he's still your quarterback, whatever. But I would recommend, upgrading him. Pick up Matier. Pick up, Mensa. Somebody like that as far as being your best value cards in the game. That's going to wrap it up for our quarterback tier. I told you at the start of it, we've got way too many great quarterbacks in the game. These top guys, I think, have separated themselves a little bit from like the Dylan Raiolas, John Mateers of the world. And so maybe I should move some cards down. But it's tough, if I do move some cards down, it's just like, where is that cutoff point? I think is the really tough thing. And maybe this is what I need to do. Move Mateer and Raiola down. I think that's what I'm going to do. You guys can let me know if you like that or not. But it's just, I don't want Raiola at the same tier as Legway or Morton. I just don't think that's fair. So that's where I'm at with this. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.